Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm reviewing City Set number 60304 Road Plates. This set has 112 pieces, it's for ages 5 and up, and it retails for $20 in the US. This new road plate system is replacing the old road base plates, and they're included in a lot of city sets as well as sold in this kind of like expansion pack set on their own. And I know that a lot of people don't like these, so let's take a look at them. All right, so let's take a look at the main pieces with this little section first. So first of all, we have a new piece at the ends. This is like a ramp that looks very similar to a piece that Lego had in the past, except it used to have 4 studs on top. Now it's smooth. So that's used at the edges of these plates. These are 2 just regular Lego plates high. That does make them hard to integrate with base plates, but we'll take a look at that in a second. And then there are a couple of brand new molds here. So you have an 8x16 piece and a 16x16 piece. The way that these work is that there's just like these little like 8 stud cutouts in the centers, and so you can rearrange them however you want. And then they also have parts on the side where you can just attach little assemblies such as this one. So you've got a couple of street signs here. This 8x16 plate is printed with a crosswalk, although there are also unprinted versions in other sets, like the ones that include the road base plates, or sorry, the road plates. And then you have like these 2x4 printed tiles that have the white stripe, and then you just put those in the center to create the road. So if you wanted to, you can make this road like twice as wide and, you know, put another 16x16 plate over here and then just put the dashed lines down the middle. So yes, this is a lot more modular and easy to customize than the old system is. So this is the recommended configuration. You get 4 16x16 plates and then the one 8x16. And then you just have a bunch of small details around the sides. So you have traffic lights, 2 of them. You have 2 street lamps. These are actually pretty interesting little builds because they include these solar panel pieces from the International Space Station on top, and those are actually glow-in-the-dark 1x2 plates. I've never seen those before. I've only seen like, you know, studs as glow-in-the-dark pieces, so we'll take a look at those in just a second. Then, like I pointed out, you have these signs on the side over here. I really like that crosswalk sign. And then all the way back here, you also have like this little kind of garden section with a couple of trees and some flowers. Now, you can see right off the bat that like the biggest flaw with these road plates is that there's no shoulder for the road. Once you put a vehicle on here, it barely fits. It's very tight and there's just no space on the sides, which I think makes it a little bit tougher to integrate into a city. All right, so for this glow-in-the-dark pieces, I've turned off all of the lights in my room, but there is still some sunlight coming in, so I don't know how well this is going to work. I do have this UV flashlight over here, so what I'm going to do is just shine that on the piece, and that shows you the glow. And then if I turn that off, you can see it glowing naturally. So those do glow pretty well. I mean, just bear in mind they're never going to glow that well because I'm using this flashlight. But I mean, that's a pretty decent glow if you just leave them out in the sun for a little while. All right, so now let's talk about these road plates integrated into a city display. You guys know that I am building my first city display right now. It's not going to be done for a while. But the problem here is that road plates don't really work with modular buildings. So I've got the Palace Cinema over here. You can't see the whole thing because it's too tall. But modulars are built on base plates and they always have some sidewalk. The Palace Cinema has a lot more sidewalk than most. But if you take like these road plate assemblies and you want to like push them up to the side, first of all of those like extra bits are kind of awkward. So let me just take them off. But the problem here is that they're just too high up compared to everything else. Pretty easy to get those all off, but once you put it up to the side, if that wasn't raised up, you can see it's like it's a plate higher than like the modular base. So that just looks awkward because then when you have vehicles running along it, those vehicles are, first of all, higher than the street, which looks really weird. Maybe I should display it along this side just because the front of like corner modulars does lift up a bit. Okay, so as you can see, they're just so high like above the street. I think that it's really awkward. You know, it is just like one place worth of difference, but I think that that's a lot. And then the other problem with it for me is that there's no shoulder, like I said. Like it's just right up against the sidewalk. And yet you can build that out for yourself. But I don't want to have to buy road plates and then like figure out how to build up like a shoulder or a bike lane or just something to get that away from the road. And then also have to raise up my entire city display by like a plate or two so that the curb is higher than the road the way it should be. That's kind of flawed in my opinion. Like, yeah, these work really well with city sets, but I feel like they could have like, I don't know what they could have done, honestly. I'm just spitballing here, but I wish that they just weren't like so much higher than that base plate. Here's one of the old road base plates, and these work a lot better. Now, the other problem with these is that they have too much shoulder. So the road plates are too close to the road, or sorry, to the sidewalk, but these are so far away from the sidewalk. It's kind of ridiculous. Like there's an extra just like 6 studs of dead space here, which isn't perfect either, because then you need to build something out there. Although that's a lot easier to fix. You can just, slap some like random tiles on there or like a fence or something. I'm probably going to put like white lines on it and just make it like parking spaces. But I feel like the cars just have a lot more room to breathe like on like this like base plate than they do on the road plate system, because on the road plate system, they're always like about to fall off the edge, whereas there's plenty of room here, even like in the lane. So I do prefer the old road base plates, although I am going to be trying to integrate these together. So I did want to integrate the base plates with the road plates in my city display, but you can see they're just not as wide. So that does present a little bit of an issue because you won't have like that smooth transition that I want. It's not too bad though. So I'm probably still going to stick with that idea as long as it looks okay in my city, but I'll really have to play around with this stuff. This stuff is great for kids connecting their cities, which, they're the target market. So I think that this is fantastic for them, but it really sucks for AFOLs who are used to the road base plate sets. And I wish that LEGO would either keep the base plates in production along with this new system, or they could have made a system that works for both kids and adults, because LEGO knows that like so many adults love to have cities with roads like this. So I just feel like it could have been better integrated. You could also solve this problem by just making a double wide road, like I said. So you can put like 2 road plates next to each other and then just put the dashed lines down the center. And then I think that works a little bit better. You could try like building something out on the side to kind of fit it to the road plates, or to the base plates, sorry. And the names are too similar. But yes, you do have some options here. I actually do really like this look. I might do that, although I'd have to buy a couple more road plate sets. But I think that you can make it work if you want to. I think the biggest problem is just them being a plate higher than like modulars, because it's not easy to raise modulars up. Like, yeah, you can just put some plates under a base plate, but then it's not going to be stable. It's going to like be shaking around. So you're really just going to have to play with this system. Here are the extra pieces for this set. Here's the box for this set. It's that typical $20 box size. On the top, it shows you how to connect your city. And then around the back, you can just see some alternate layouts. Here's the instruction manual. On the back, it does show you how you can connect all of your sets together. And that is a great look for like all of these sets. It's just kind of hard to integrate in your own display. So I think that this new road plate system works really well for what it's intended for, which is for like kids that are 5 and up to connect their Lego city sets to one another. However, it really does not work for AFOLs. It doesn't hold a candle to the old road base plates for me. And the other huge problem with this is that there's no curves anywhere. Like, there's no curved road plate pieces. I don't even know how they would do curves. And that's a huge flaw. Like, for me, that's the biggest flaw with this system, because you need curves, especially for someone like me who doesn't have like a lot of room for a city display. I just want curves at like the ends so that the roads look like they're going off somewhere. And this system doesn't have any of that. That, like I said, that's a big issue. I hope that they get curves soon. I think it's a mistake that they didn't have them at launch. So for me, that's like what's really preventing me from liking this. Because when I saw that they were coming out with a new road plate system, I'm like, oh, why don't I just use that for my city instead of the base plates? And then I'm like, well, there's no curves and they're higher than the modulars, so that's not going to work for me. That being said, I do just really like this system on its own. Like if I forget about its practical applications in like an AFOL city display, I really like this system on its own. I definitely want more of these sets to like connect my city sets. So I'm probably going to get at least one more of these. So overall, it's great, like just the way it is. It's just not so great if you want to put it into like an actual adult city display. That's it for today. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.